Welcome in, everyone. Just waiting a few more minutes here till it hits the dot on 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. As you can see, we've got new ads being displayed, which kind of livens up the broadcast a little bit. Just a moment's time here, we'll actually show you the starting lineup. It's going to be nice that I have the stream deck and I can actually turn things on and off at the press of a button. So it's going to be a lot more streamlined on how the broadcast goes. It'll be so much smoother, so much more convenient, and it'll just be an awesome broadcast for every race going forward. So starting on the front row here tonight is none other than Chasey Plays alongside Trevor Vaden. This is impressive as we have not seen this kind of speed from Chasey Plays, if not ever. Trevor Vaden in his new seat there looking to be pretty dominant for Trevor Ventures in the Toyota. Just behind them you got Trevor Walker and Lucas Holmes, Jacob Shangle and Spidham Walker, the 50 of Gavin Gray alongside Joe Hill, Kyler Sestre and Chris Harvey, Anheuser Wachner and Matthew Fastnaught, Adam Starr and Monty Shangle, Gavin Legend and Alan Chavot, Paulo Ladino and Zach Magoon, Alex Sanvital and the 22 of Kat Durham, Lynn Farrell alongside Matthew Hubert, Noah Hobson and Jonah Burridge, Roach and Krista Cower, Jack Davis and Brian DeBlanc, Daniel Paulus and Craig Popchris, Rich Roy and Luis Rodriguez, with John Hagen, Jamison Thole, Dave Steele Jr., and Braden Hunt rounding out your field. As some of you may know, our defending champion is not going to be racing this season, so the Western title very much up on the line. A little bit different this year. Usually we open up the season in Fontana. This got the green light for starting the season. Just kind of a unique style to starting, especially being a Pacific Northwest, Pacific Northwesterner as myself. It's kind of nice to open up the season in, the track based out of Seattle, Washington. Obviously, Seattle does not have a true racetrack, but Armory Digital Superspeedway is a pretty neat track in the game here. Pace truck is off. They're getting ready in the restart zone. And we're racing here in 2024. Chasey Plays off to the early lead there, taking about a full truck length position in front of the 20. And I think Trevor Walker is going to be one of those guys to keep an eye out on here in the Western Division. He has been very hard to beat year in, year out, and I think they finally got this truck to where it should be. It's going to be possibly the new Tim Cording. As you can see, that 50 truck, very reminiscent, very common scene to be seen running up front here in what used to be Tim Cording in the 50. Now this year, Gavin Gray. Jacob Schengle goes low, going to take the lead, and we're off to a very typical Superspeedway conveyor belt race here. Lead's going to change hands almost every lap. So, off an early start here. Let's go ahead and throw up a went ahead and throw up a poll there for those of you tuned in watching. Go ahead and give it a vote. Obviously, it'll close by lap 10. And some kind of details you might notice here. Each truck has an emblem on it tied to where that truck manufacturer is from. So there's a Jap car logo on the trucks that are either Toyota, Honda, or Subaru. There's a Americar logo on the Fords, Chevys, and Dodges. And then the lone Volkswagen, we've got a Eurocar logo on each Volkswagen out there. What's going to come of this, we will have a championship amongst the three regions as to who has the most dominant manufacturers out there. Volkswagen unfortunately doesn't have the aid of any other trucks other than themselves, with only 2 Volkswagens out west here and 3 Volkswagens on the East Coast. They're going to have to prove it with minimal numbers alone. And with that, I'm going to try to do it. The top 2 from each one gains points based on their finishing results here. So, for example, if Ford finishes 1-2, they will gain 1-2 in points total. If Volkswagen, their 2 trucks, finish 8th and 9th, they would get that much towards the regional championship amongst the manufacturers. Looks like some newcomers towards the front here. San Vital. Hopefully I'm not butchering the name. There in the 93 green Fire Emblem truck. Running towards the front here. And it's impressive, the Volkswagens in their first venture here. This is the first race contested by Volkswagen, and it looks like they might get a lead lap credit here with the 50 of Gavin Gray. So far, looking like we're going to make it closer and closer to that lap 10 mark. We have not seen a wreck yet. Everyone minding their P's and Q's, running really clean race so far. Here we go, Alan Chavot showing some strength up at the front here. Very familiar sight having that number 50 truck out front leading the field. And looks like Gavin Gray got the lead lap there. Yep, right there. I forget where the start finish line is. Kind of a peculiar place for the start-finish line in comparison to most super speedways. Here we go. Chavot now takes the lead. And we really got about our 4-truck breakaway at the front of the field with what looks to be our strongest contenders for the win tonight. Jacob Shangle, Trevor Vaden, Alan Chavot, and Gavin Gray. Mix in there Trevor Walker and Jack Davis, as well as Spinham Walker just kind of chilling in the back. Chasey Plays, your pole setter, has fallen back to about 10th at the moment. And they're 5 wide. That's a dangerous spot to be for those trucks in the middle. San Vital is the 4th truck up in the 5 wide action. That all kind of petered out there, so no carnage yet. It's nice seeing all the new trucks in action here for their first ever race. Very pretty scheme there with the Gulf Oil number 51 for Zach Magoon. 27 there up in the high groove, hitting the wall maybe. Correct, this is the 2023 Armory Digital. So far, so good. I had not done any testing on it, which I'll probably get lampooned for mentioning that. As it seems like every time I don't test the track, something goes wrong. But correct, it is the latest Armory Digital Super Speedway. Very pleased with the first 10 laps. And with that, our pole closes. And so far, no cautions through the first 10 laps. Trevor Walker to the lead now. Joe Hill right there in second, third position. I'm going to have to come up with more ideas for polls for future broadcasts. It's kind of hard to come up with them on the fly. But that's kind of my approach this season. I want to try and spice things up, keep it fresh, keep it different. As you can see, the 03 of Joe Hill going to the lead here. Currently, the fastest lap belongs to that of John Hagen. And Hagen is mired all the way back at the back of the field. Impressive that he's been able to turn that fast lap and still run towards the back like this. And perhaps, you know, he's just buying his time, trying to save his tires for the final run at the end of the race here. It's looking very dangerous up here at the front of the field right now. This angle gives us a lot more of a perspective on just how hard it is to race around these guys. A little bit more of a breakaway up the front now. Still no caution, but I think the tires are starting to kick in here. You're starting to see the drivers that let way out of the throttle to try and avoid one of those big runs of contact with another driver. 15 there of Hobson losing a little bit of momentum. The rubber band effect of the draft. You could hear the deceleration there from multiple trucks, it seemed. Wow, look at that 35 truck with a charge on the inside. Harvey as well making a bold move. And that there was our drone cam that I have figured out how to control within the racing. So that tool, very fun to play with. Looks like Trevor Vaden towards the front still. A lot of ebb and flow as to our lead bunch. Right now, San Vital leading the way. Our list for potential first-time winners tonight could go very deep in this field. Currently, our top three never have won. One of which making their season series debut here, the 93 truck at the front. Speedway Walker came around towards the end of last year, got some seat time, and is looking pretty comfortable in the field of veterans here. But the story I'm kind of intrigued with here is the 49 of Chasey Plays. We all know that he's been at it for quite a while and has been, at opportunities to get some wins here and there. But tonight, looking like a good night for that 49. Hopefully we'll get a good story like that. Someone that was kind of unexpected that you didn't quite see. Similar in ways to the way Andre Stefan just showed up and lit the season on fire at the end of the campaign last year. Monty Shangle to the lead. And we got Thomas the Choo Choo Train down on that bottom line trying to make some momentum to the front. otherwise known as Jonah Burridge in the 07. Man, we might actually see green flag pit stops here if things continue the way they're going. 20 laps, 57 laps to go. It's been blown by pretty quickly here. And like I mentioned on the server, I've been trying to structure the truck schedule so that we have under 1 hour events. That way it's easier on the folks on the East Coast that are up at 11 right now watching this. And ideally provide for, just quick, fascinating racing, good action with a little bit of, strategy involved, because it's not like they're going to just be able to go from green to checkers without making a pit stop. 195 miles here it's still pretty lengthy, sized race. So Bridge to Cup, which will be premiering on Thursday. And so that'd be a good way to remember our feeder series. We drive on Tuesdays and Thursdays, each day that starts with a T. At least that makes it easier for me to remember. I don't know. But Tuesday night truck in here, and then Thursday night Bridge to Cup. And of course, Friday will be our Cup Series, with the slight occasional Thursday race for the Sylvania Cup. So kind of the Cup Series shares that window with Bridge to Cup, either running on Thursdays or Fridays. Some of those I might have to adjust to make it more convenient rather than having them both scheduled on the same day. Here we go, Braden Hunt to the lead. That's an interesting move for position. Still all trucks running out here, all within, seems like, all within 3 seconds of each other still. Since the green flag dropped 24 laps ago, it's really anyone's game at this point. Seems to, yeah, it looks like John Hagen's finally getting up here into the picture after running at the back for so long. Hagen still with that fastest time, so trying to get that 88 Budweiser truck towards the front. Trucks are a little bit noisier here on the drone cam. Don't know how well my voice is coming through on that yet. So perhaps maybe this could be our crank it up segment of the race here for tonight. pending. I could probably, I could actually hook that up as a hotkey to have a crank it up graphic pop up onto the screen. So that'll be something to consider for future streams as well. San Vital still leading here at the front, fending off the 03 of Joe Hill and the 50 of Gavin Gray. Seems like there's a lot of panic deceleration going on around track here. Just when you think you got to run, a big group of them let off the throttle. And oh, that was a gnarly save there by Jonah Burridge. We'll have to watch that one really quickly back. The 07, that was a nearly a wreck. Here we rewind back here. As you can see, the 07 has a good run. It gets on the apron and comes right back up on track in front of the 64 truck. But still keeping it going and fighting for position yet again. There we have it. First round of green flag pit stops coming here on lap 32. So that's going to get us right. You'll have to make 2 pit stops to make it through this race here tonight if things stay green the whole way. 32 will put us at lap 64 of 77 for the final stint. we'll see how long it takes for the remainder of the trucks here to come down pit road. Still not a single caution here tonight. Impressive to say, since this is super speedway racing, you almost expect a wreck to happen. There we go, some more takers down pit road here. It looks like just about half the rest of the field coming down pit road. This small group of about 7 or 8, it's going to be harder for them to get a good draft once they come down pit road. And here we've got a very interesting, as they catch up on those that just come off of pit road, this will really test some of these drivers. 50 staying out yet again. I think that was a mistake. As you can see, looks like he's almost coasting at this point. He might have ran out of gas. I think Gavin Gray stayed out 1 lap too long. And we'll have to wait and see if this actually brings out a caution. But he got forced in that high groove and was not able to get down low to commit for his pit stop. So we'll keep an eye on that light and see if there's actually going to be a caution here. Well, that's a heartbreak for the 50 truck there, as looked like a strong contender tonight, just pushed it a little too close to the edge there. Hopefully doesn't do anything dumb here, get into the racing line. That could be hairy. Looks like he did the plight thing and got off of the apron so that those coming off pit road wouldn't run into him. Still green. Amazingly enough, it doesn't look like it's going to bring the caution. And our leaders rotate back around. It looks like San Vital and Jack Davis. So at least Volkswagen still has a dog in the fight here with the 17 truck. Joe Hill in the 03, Jonah Burridge in the 07. And Kat Durham now up into the top 5. That 22 truck there. Yep, 50 truck stalls right on the backstretch. Looks like we'll keep our green flag action going here. A little bit more disparity after those green flag pit stops. It looks like we've got about 2 groups here at the front, separated. Third group, not too far off the pace. So if all things work out well, those 3 groups could get back towards the front here. Oh, okay, there we go. And our first caution of the night, due in part to the 50 truck running out of gas. At least everyone else cycled around on the lead lap. That was actually probably the best case scenario for having had the 50 truck run out of gas. And obviously with better cautions enabled, we'll have a double file restart here tonight. And that's always unpredictable as to what'll happen. This gets us to the midway point roughly, and 33 laps would be the window, so no one's going to be safe if they pit. It's still going to be right at the cusp of making it. They're probably going to have to hope for another caution to get another pit stop in so that they're not pitting with 5 laps to go here tonight. Yeah, a very delayed caution for the 50 truck there. And while we're under caution, I'll go ahead and turn our commercials back on. It'll be cool if I could get actual animated commercial break during cautions. That would take a lot more expertise than I know how to do, but I could still wish. I'll keep you all updated on if they actually make a trip down pit road here. Actually, I'll tune out of the commercial break if we see any takers down pit road. '50 truck, after getting towed back to pit road, getting a little bit of fuel put in that truck, back and going. However, a couple laps down, so his chances of winning tonight slim to none as he's 3 laps down, but perhaps going to try to gain some positions if there is a huge wreck here tonight. Our leader's staying out, not taking any pit stops here, so the 03 of Joe Hill, the 07 of Burridge, 7 of Walker, 38 of Monty Shangle, and the 93 of San Vital is your top 5. The lights on the pace truck should be going off this time by. Got one more lap under caution here. I will shorten that. Pace lap minus. So we should be getting back to green here next time by. Should be on the backstretch here where they'll double file up for the restart. All 36 trucks still running, 35 of which are on the lead lap. Newcomers to the series, Joe Hill and Jonah Burridge is going to lead the way to the green flag restart here. Monty Shangle in the 38 has not won a race in the USA Trucks. A very, very talented winning driver in the Cup Series, so perhaps trying to find his way into victory lane here tonight to add to the accolades for that 38 team. But otherwise, it really looks like a mixed bag of newcomers at the front of the field, which is exciting to watch here. Green flag wave and restart underway. They are nose to nose going into turn one. It looks like Joe Hill getting the advantage here. A little bit of drafting help from Spin'em Walker. Welcome into the stream, Chris. Glad you can make it. So far, you're running decently here tonight. You haven't been wrecked out, so that's always a plus. Spin'em Walker to the lead here with a good push from San Vital. Ooh, 4 wide for potentially the lead here as Trevor Vaden pushes the envelope. And this is getting to be a little bit more hairy as we get closer towards the end of the race here. These drivers wanting to give it all they got to try and get up to the front of the field. It's so much fun watching these trucks fan out going through the dogleg there. Ooh, San Vital way up high. Ooh, that was a window that closed there for the 03 truck as he tried to get below the 20, but instead gets shoved up high. That caution actually was pretty well timed out to give us another great, great burst of racing here, as we had about 3 or 4 different packs. They are now all one large group at the front of the field again, with last place right there and 3 seconds back, still within, reasonable distance of catching to the front. Ooh, 36 gets shuffled back there. Keeps it clean, doesn't cause any wreck, but definitely lost the momentum. Well, that would have been our driver with the fastest lap, believe it or not. The 36 there of Lucas Holmes. Right on the edge of out of control, that 36 truck. Kyler Sestre, who will be a contender in the Bridge to Cup Series. has yet to win here in the trucks, but has shown promise, speed, and the capabilities of holding his own with some of the strongest talent here in the trucks. It's going to be fun to watch him race Bridge to Cup with an opportunity to win that championship and get up into the Cup Series, as many of the drivers here would love to do. Another driver in that Bridge to Cup championship is the 69 truck there of Braden Hunt. We'll see him Thursday night. And it's a little bit harder to get into that Bridge to Cup, as it's going to be your more exclusive drivers who have earned the right to fight for a shot to get into the Cup Series. Alan Chavot up to the front here. '97 and 38 still pretty close. Alan Chavot usually sweating bullets when the 38 of Monty Shangle's nearby. The first time Chavot took to the track, he got wrecked by Monty probably about a year ago at this point, since joining the series. And it's crazy how the AI seem to keep that going, keep the rivalry, as you might say, alive between two of the entries. Because right there, Alan Chavot and Monty Shangle running side by side. Lap traffic, this could get scary. 48 of Luis Rodriguez with significant damage on the front nose of that truck. We're going to have to DQ the 48 here once we see it gets to a reasonable spot to disqualify him. It's just going to be a sit and roadblock for the rest of the race here tonight. Keeping it clean so far. Still haven't seen a big wreck here tonight. Everyone minding their P's and Q's, trying to get past the 48 truck. 21 of Trevor Walker decides to go high here, which looks like might have been the move to make, as we can now safely mechanical failure for the 38 of Monty Shangle. A blown tire here. And at these speeds, obviously, it's going to force him down pit road. Staying out with a flat tire right now, but we'll see how much longer. Yeah, it said he suffered a 3 out of 10 failure to the tire there. The wheel. Yes, very wide. It's impressive how wide Armory Digital Superspeedway is. Been lending ourselves to some great action here all night. We saw first round of green flag pit stops on lap 32, and a lot of the drivers stayed out when the caution came, trying to get as many precious laps under caution to save fuel. But it's almost guaranteed that everyone's going to have to pit again, probably around lap 70. Down to just 26 laps to go here. Once they got by all that chaos with the 48 truck, it seems like everyone's kind of closing back in on the front of the field. New fastest lap recipient, the 98 of Krista Cower. And Krista's always been kind of the silent assassin when it comes to any race that's got a lot of speed. Speedways, super speedways, you name it. Short tracks and road courses, not quite her MO. DeBlanc getting up into the top 5 here. And what seems to be his first showing in the top 5 tonight. Giving that Volkswagen entry a good run here. Him and the 17. So that'll go a long ways for that regional manufacturer championship that we'll have simultaneously with the driver championship this year. You're in the West. Yes, you're in the West, Hagen. You're actually running, I think, in the top 15 right now. Not quite. You had the fastest lap at one point, but it looks like you're about in the 30th position. Another slow truck that we might have to DQ here. I hate doing it, but and I might have just made the bonehead mistake of DQing him as he's getting caught up on here. As long as he stays to the bottom, we should be fine. Well, I opened Pandora's box here, so hopefully, we don't get a huge ass pile up. Good, good, okay, good. This is gonna be right where we need that 94 truck. Gonna cut low, pull off the track. And we keep rolling. DeBlanc with the lead here. Led that lap. 3 wide between Chavot and Hill. Got a 6 truck breakaway for now, but I think the draft is going to be far superior with that second group behind them. There we go. The second group has caught back up to the lead here. Joe Hill still leads the way over Kyler Sustre, Braden Hunt, DeBlanc, and Chavot. San Vital, Davis, Roach, and Vaden all within shot here. Roach thinking about going low, possibly getting 3 wide, maybe not. Lucas Holmes, there in the 36, had got into the wall just a couple laps ago, has researched into the top 10 and fighting for position here. Don't know if that's the move though. He's cutting too low. He's going to lose the draft. Giving up some momentum there as Burridge comes into the shot. Roach with the 3-wide maneuver here. Slingshots past both trucks there into the top 5. Attempt on position there for Chavot, but momentum not in his favor, losing part of the draft there. It's fascinating watching these lines as they move around the track to find that draft. Roach went from one truck to the other, and it looks like it's going to pay off to get him up to 4th here. Chavot found some more draft momentum and is going to follow that line into 5th place. Roach, this might be a mistake to make the move on the outside of the 69 here. We'll have to see. The 69 really losing the draft, it seems. 6 truck making a killing here, moving through the field. Now put Roach up to 3rd. We're going to have to go back a couple spots to get more trucks in the picture on our drone cam. Roach making a spot up to 2nd here. Man, Roach wants to go for it all. 3 wide with Davis and Chavot, about to be 4 wide with Lucas Holmes. Both Trevors now lined up nose to tail. Oh, and here we go. Roach to the lead, taking that lead away from Joe Hill with a good push from Chavot. Roach did it all simply by studying the line and finding the speed. Now he's got 15 laps to figure out how to hold on to that position. Pit stops are likely along the horizon though. Impressive that we still have not seen the big one here today. And based on the length of this race, we might not see one as we're getting close to the finish here today. Chavot trying to make a move for the lead here. Gets in front of Roach. Is it going to be a drag race to the start-finish line? Not really, as Chavot is able to clear the 6th and lead the lap. Trevor Walker down to the low side now. It really seems like the line to take is kind of the middle line. The very, very low line seems to be slow. The very, very high line is slow. But there's that kind of the meat in the center of the sandwich that gets these trucks to the front. must say tonight with Tuesday night trucking has been a success. This is beyond the most hyped return to racing that I've had in a while. And back to my regular set of streaming. So hopefully this will have a great finish here. It's pretty much setting up to be a classic finish here in the USA Trucks. Been a very quality super speedway race up to this point. Green flag pit stops, which I forecasted this would come. It's a little bit sooner than I anticipated. Seems like a couple drivers actually stuck to the 32 lap range and made it on lap 65 here. So rather than pushing it any further than they had to, taking the early pit stop to get the freshest tires sooner. And we saw this bit the 50 earlier. Gavin Gray ran out of gas trying to stay out too long. I'm going to follow the 51 of Magoon down pit road here and see just how the drone cam does on pit stops. Doesn't seem like we're going to have a good angle here though. Well, it was worth a try, but the drone cam obviously not in a good spot there. Down to 11 laps to go here. The rest of the trucks yet to make their pit stops. It's going to be hard to tell what driver is going to come out on top after these pit stops. Right now, these two trucks staying out leading. The 69 of Braden Hunt and the 09 of Matthew Fastnaught. Hagen coming off pit road, rejoining right in front of the leaders here. This is what happened to our leader the last time as trucks were coming off pit road, forced the 50 to stay out and run out of gas. So 09 is making a mistake here. Nope, gonna make the turn to pit road. So should get us almost all squared away here. Spinham Walker stays out. Spinham Walker is going to be your leader for now over Craig Popgris. Those are your last two not to pit. Well, it's going to separate the field up a little bit here in our last run to the checkered flag. There we go. Wow, the 46 staying out yet another lap here with single digits left in the laps to go column. Down to 8 laps to go now. Man, that would be insane if Popgris was able to find holy cauldron of fuel that no one else had. I can't see this truck staying out for 7 more laps without running out of gas. But crazier things have happened. He's running 2 full seconds off the pace. He's going to stay out yet another lap here. Popgris playing the fuel mileage game. 6 laps to go now. Holy cow. Hagen fighting to get back on the lead lap here as he rejoined the track in 33rd. Oh, there we go. That's kind of how the cookie crumbles there for the 46 truck, trying to fight fuel mileage at the end of a race. Hard to do on a super speedway when you're never off the gas at all during the whole lap around the track. So, looks like it'll recycle around to Trevor Walker as the leader over Brian DeBlank, Kyler Sestre, Matthew Fastnaught, and Joe Hill as your top 5 trucks are all alone in a zip code of their own. The second group is a pretty sizable group there, led by Magoon at the moment. Gap is roughly 5 seconds from this lead group to the next one. So if they can get strung up, lined up together, they could chase this lead group down and fight for the win, as we've only got 4 laps to go this time by. You would think that there'd be more power in numbers, especially with a large group as well put together as this one. But they're turning 48.8s. Compare that up to the group up front turning 48.3s. 48.4, 2, 3. Short of lap traffic or something, I don't see that second group catching up with the leaders. Three laps to go now here, Armory Digital Superspeedway. After tonight, you won't see any more action here at Armory until the Cup Series on Friday, as the Bridge to Cup on Thursday will be racing at Daytona. But not just Daytona, they're going to be doing the Rallycross course at Daytona for the ultimate hype factor, to get kind of a mixture of Rallycross and NASCAR put together. Couple laps remaining here tonight. Trevor Walker looking pretty solid, but I would not count out the 85 or the 09. Even the 03 and the 24 right there within striking distance. Keeping their hands close to their chest, not showing the opponents what they've got. Gap still about 5 seconds separating that second group. This point, it doesn't look like we're going to get another caution. Two laps remain here tonight, and you're looking at your 5 contenders for the win. Trevor Walker, Brian DeBlank, Matthew Fastnaught, Joe Hill, and Kyler Sestre. Lights are still green on track. I'm keeping a very close Hawkeye look on those beacons to see if it turns yellow. Not looking like we're going to have caution here. As they come, probably going to be white flag waving. It's an official race. One more lap to go. Brian DeBlanc fighting solidly here behind Trevor Walker. Kyler Sestre getting up to third here. Sestre maybe with a different objective of pushing here might give the 85 an opportunity. However, the 24 is just going to cut through the field and try to get that lead. Not going to work though. The momentum working against him here. 85 of DeBlanc just riding right there behind the 21. Doesn't look like he's going to push it very much. Simply going to hold on. Following behind the 21 of Trevor Walker, who gets the win here tonight. Played the game to perfection here. Trevor Walker setting himself up as the dominant force here in 2024. We all know what he's capable of, especially when it comes to road courses. Putting on a good show here tonight at the Superspeedway of Armory Digital Superspeedway. Volkswagen comes home in second. Kyler Sestre in third. Joe Hill fourth. Matthew Fastnaught fifth. Chris Harvey comes home for a solid sixth place finish. Craig Popgris rebounded for seventh even after pitting there at the end. The 22 of Cat Durham was eighth. Dave Steele Jr. ninth. Braden Hunt 10th. The 11th place driver was Spinham Walker. 12th was the 51 of Zach Magoon. 13th of Lynn Farrell. 14th of Jack Davis. And 15th, Rich Roy in his season debut. But ultimately, congratulations to Trevor Walker on starting the season out with a bang, winning the season opener here tonight. Looks like we had a little bit of chaos at the close of the race here. 07 of Jonah Burge looks tore up. Let's see what happened. It looked like a lot of drivers run out of gas at the end of the race here, pushing it right to the barren edge. Oh, and there we have the unexpected carnage at the end of the race. The 93, oh, runs into Roach and then gets flipped. Obviously, NR2003 being NR2003 here at the end of the race. Doesn't affect the results, luckily, so yeah, no, we are back in racing here in the USA Trucks. It was a very exciting, close race here tonight. And we turn the calendar over to 2024. And thanks for everyone tuning in. It was peak performance for tonight's race. Got at least 9 viewers on at peak, which is huge. I haven't had that many in a long time. It's nice being the season opener. Obviously, we haven't had any racing action for close to 2 months now, so thank you everyone for tuning in. You're what keep it exciting and enjoyable for me to run the show, so hopefully next week's race is just as exciting. But you'll definitely want to tune in on Thursday. It'll be a little bit sooner than this, so it's not going to be as late for the East Coast. It'll be 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the Bridge to Cup Series debut. The best way to describe it is a mixture between Rallycross, NASCAR, SRX, and I guess even like IndyCar for the most part, since you'll have some road courses in there. I'll even go to Monza at one point in the season. I know a lot of that just sounds wonky crazy, but it's going to be exciting for sure to see what these cars... It's going to be the current next-gen chassis, racing on the dirt, racing on the road courses, racing on rallycross tracks and whatnot. So it's going to be exciting. And the chase at the end of the season is actually going to be a bracket, similar in style to like the Sweet 16, or like the March Madness basketball bracket, except we'll be doing it with race cars. The way it'll work out, you'll have 5 races dedicated at the end of the season for the bracket of 28. Your number 1 seed will face your 28 seed. 27 will face your 2nd seed, and so on. It'll work out so that the 3rd week we will actually have the highest seed earn a bye week. But it'll eventually whittle down to your highest seed and your lowest seed still standing to duke it out for the overall championship in Bridge to Cup. So with that, I'm going to put a neat little ribbon on tonight's broadcast. Congratulations to Trevor Walker on pulling out the victory here tonight. It's very fitting to have one of our grizzled veterans pulling off the win here tonight. He might be filling the shoes of the Courting brothers with a run like that. So everyone, hopefully have a good night, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next one.